Our heroes are mid-flight to address a disease so grim you may just lose a limb. Let's see how the body crumbles this week on Hapless Heroes. Dropping anchor.
Launching the Brown October.
Hello and welcome to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave and I will be your host and dungeon master for this evening. Let's start by introducing our cast. For a change of pace, we'll start from my right. On my right is Phil playing Hedrick the Entertainer.
I'm so ready to get it on.
To his right, we have Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
I just hope this disease doesn't affect my face.
To his right, we have Francesco as the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom.
We have a plan?
To his right, we have John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
It's nice to be off the ground again.
And to his right, we have Zach as Parrot of Lincolnwoods.
It's okay.
I shouldn't spend so much time in the sun on a day where I have to improvise.
All right, so as we left off, we were in the air. Arion Black has a sandwich to die for, and everyone else has a little more insight into what's going on. We're in flight. We've got maybe about, at this point, 12 hours to go before we touch down in Iiorvicshome.
Yeah, it's like I feel like
Iiorvicshome, rather.
yeah. So I feel like just to be like pretty brief here. Big picture. Can't commune with the gods. Can't travel beyond worlds.
Yep.
Small picture. Crazy ass disease that's literally making people fall apart but stay alive throughout the entire process.
Situation normal, all fucked up.
And we're on our way to deal with that. Us,
Yes.
all of us.
A disease where you're not 100% on the vector, not 100% who patient zero is, and not 100% on what the source is, or whether it's biological, magical, or otherwise.
Pretty
All of
tricky.
the above.
Sounds pretty tricky.
So we cut back to, let's say, the mess on the airship. We've got about 12 hours to go. Is anybody else trying to figure out anything, do anything, how best to spend one's time while inst the air?
Actually, hold on a second. Let's see if I can do something helpful.
I'm long resting twice, so I have double the hit points, because that's how that works, right?
While rocking the sunglasses. It's the most deal with it moment. I love it.
Deal with it. Yeah, I have sunglasses on for some reason. I don't know. That's true.
I wear my
There, now he doesn't have to feel alone in it.
2 people at the table out of 6 have stupid sunglasses on. We're inside.
Do we have a protected lab on this airship?
By protected, what do you mean?
Does it have reinforced walls?
Zero was involved in designing this airship. Answer that for yourself.
So that's a yes. That's the exact answer I was looking for. I just wanted to make
Yes,
sure.
it is both explosion and implosion resistant.
I keep dancing around with this this gem I'm holding on to.
right.
Where like all of our scrying gems and the orb fuse together, and
Yeah.
I'm still unsure of it. I would like to, as a ritual,
All right.
use legend lore to learn as much as I possibly can about this item.
All right.
It's a 5th level spell, and I literally name or describe a person, place, or object, and it brings to my mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing I named.
All right.
And the lore might consist of, current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. I have a feeling this is a thing of legendary importance.
Yes. The third eye of Vecna would absolutely be of legendary importance.
Shit! Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, that is what it is called, and it confirms your initial suspicion that this thing is pure dag nasty evil.
Cool.
Can we ascertain what kind of powers it might have, or what kind of significance?
He hasn't
Well,
shared that he
I haven't
has this
shared a
with
goddamn
anyone.
thing with
Oh, okay.
anyone here.
Yeah,
There's something we need to learn about
have,
Felix.
You have the sheet for it still,
He
right?
doesn't say shit.
I don't.
Felix doesn't share
have it.
anything with anyone.
It's pure Dagnasty evil. Attuning to it involves implanting it in the middle of your forehead. I do remember that part.
Oh.
God. Knowing that it is an eye of Vecna. So I I'm of two minds here. One, you can't commune with gods right now, so if he could see out of it, he definitely can't right now.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah. Definitely.
However,
Yeah, that's absolutely definite, right?
that is not also a definite thing, and it is also quite terrifying should he ever be restored with that ability. I mean, it's in my bag of holding, so all I was going to see is an extra dimensional space. Just saying.
And the contents of your inventory.
Oh, right. No, it's dark in there. Oh, right. He's got fucking dark vision and true sight.
I
You sure?
mean,
I'm just gonna keep holding on to this, I guess, and figure out what the fuck to do with it.
So where are you putting it?
It's still in my bag of holding.
Okay. You.
yeah,
Okay.
nobody else was in the room with you at the time.
No.
Probably by your own design, so you can choose how much or how little of that to share with the rest of the party.
I'm gonna wait for the right moment.
There's going to
I-
be a right moment to let us know that you've been holding that and you know what it is. It's not going to be a right moment.
Yeah, that's oh boy. There's
Yeah.
there's the existence of it, the knowledge of it, and the holding out about it. There's like layers of not wanting to tell people.
Sounds like Felix,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons in which I would not want to say anything right now about it, so
because you're Felix.
Yeah.
That's the main one.
it is one of the reasons, I guess.
Although you are hearing some whispers from a voice in the back of your mind, one that's familiar but you're not sure where, subtly encouraging you to use it.
Oh god, do I have to make a save?
You do now. That's what you get for asking.
Shit, I shouldn't have said anything. Well, I mean,
Right.
you said it was encouraging me, so I wasn't I wasn't sure if that means I have to do it, or...
No,
What's
it
in
was just encouragement from.
What kind of save am I making, Dave?
We're gonna call it a wisdom save.
Oh, no. Okay, well...
Hey!
23.
Yeah, you obviously know that this is a bad idea, but now there's just one more thing you need to be concerned about.
Does it look like Felix is physically going through something?
We don't
Felix
see him.
is in
Yeah, we're
a
not there.
inside
Different
of a
room away
closed
from
lab
all
right
of
now.
Oh, he hasn't come out yet.
No.
No, you don't know if I'm pre-ritualizing or I'm currently actually ritualizing,
He's always pre-ritualized.
but I have to do it in private.
Yeah. Even the post-ritualizing.
Yeah, I just don't I can't really do it when people watch.
It's a lot
He's
of
a little.
cleanup.
He's got a shy ritual
I do.
visor.
I do.
You would think one of these days we would all get wise to something, but we never do.
We know what's going. I mean, Jarrell knows what's going on. He just doesn't judge him for it.
That's why I like this guy.
Everybody
Somehow.
ritualizes.
Right.
Anyways,
Yes.
I've
Just don't
had
talk about it.
I've had my moment. That's what I wanted to do. I'm ready to just to kind of chill out now, eat some great Pregnard food, and make our way through this journey
Yeah.
unless anyone else has anything.
Take your long rest afterwards, replenish your spell slot, that sort of thing. Is anybody else making any other preparations before we get there?
Paradil is really trying to sharpen the heads on his arrows for his crossbow. He's trying to do that.
That's not a bad idea. He's trying to do it. We'll call
Are
that.
there any visitors that I may perchance be able to defeat?
What?
With
that
your
are-
crossbow?
that are embedded in my soul as I'm trying to sharpen my arrowheads?
Well, no, because you don't have anything embedded in your soul, to my knowledge.
Yes, he does.
Yes, I
he
do.
sure does.
Oh,
Flippy.
that. No, not yet. Oh, come on.
Hedrick is trying to work out the details with his amplification device,
Yeah.
and working with different magics that he knows, things that are directed in a certain area, trying to hone the focus of where they are, or things that have an area effect, trying to see if I can amplify the strength of the effects and just kind of working out the kinks.
Working out the kinks. All right. Is there any checks you need to make for any of that, or is that...
All I know is that it has 3 charges, and it was just meant to try and not necessarily increase the damage, but increase area of effect. Or
Okay.
if there was a cone, then the cone gets a little bit longer.
Well, I'm not dumb, but I can't understand how you can work out the kinks in
Well,
that sort of thing.
It's getting accustomed to a device beyond just playing my instruments. How do you work out the kinks?
Took you a second. That was a slow burner for you.
Speaking of things that slow burned, I do kind of understand where I want to go with this one, cutting back to you, Zach. I see you're trying to sharpen your arrowheads.
Oh, Clippy. Fuck you.
You should stick them in your arm to see how sharp they are.
Oh, fuck you, Clippy. Let's see
Yeah,
if
make
I
your
believe
check.
you.
6.
It's a 6. Oh, wait. What? Oh,
Intelligence.
No, it's an
Intelligence
intelligence
save.
save. Sorry. Fuck. That's a 9.
I think that beats it.
Does it really?
I'm looking for the number in here.
I think it's 8.
I think I know how to beat this thing, which is why I'm trying to
Yes.
summon
Okay,
it
yeah.
as often as
You
possible.
beat
I
the 8.
don't think you do.
Oh, God damn it.
You so you beat the 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I don't stick them
No.
in my arm.
No, you don't feel compelled to stick them into your arm.
What the hell is that thing? That sounds like pure evil. Who the hell wants to stab themselves with an arrowhead? What are you?
It's pure annoyance.
Yeah, that thing the clip like disappears after.
Yeah.
One time I thought it was a great idea to touch a mysterious paperclip that had obviously been sequestered from any living thing for a purpose, and now it's embedded in my soul and tells me to do stupid things when I'm trying to do other things.
You know, all
I'm just trying to run it out.
I probably would have done the same thing.
You think after a certain number of attempts at it, it'll suddenly go away?
Well, to metagame, I think I have a feeling that if I net 20 on this thing, it might go away, but I'm not sure.
I have no comment.
Yeah, I'm just gonna poker
Cool.
face that one.
Thank you.
Poke whose face?
Well, that's how you wake Lady Gaga up from a nap.
Oh.
Poker face.
Oh, makes sense.
Nice.
Got it.
Not like that. Oh my god.
Sorry, that's what
Dick slap.
right.
Mushroom stamp.
Man, I actually did not even go dirty with that. I literally just thought you were just like,
Yes, that's where I.
No. Nope. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, that's what you do.
So
to some
Hedrick's
people.
working out the kinks. Paradil is avoiding stabbing himself in the arm with broadhead arrows. Felix is doing something in the lab with the doors sealed and all of the implosion and explosion safeguards in place. All the extra cross bracing has been enabled, activated, and put in where it needs to be. It's not always there. It takes up space both in and outside the room. But it keeps bad things from happening. Quinn.
Quinn is writing a story, an exploit on his last endeavor to break up a bank robbing ring at TD Talduria, where he went undercover as a bank robber and was able to foil the plans of these very elusive bank robbers,
Unscrupulous.
unscrupulous bank
Fantastic.
robbers.
Writing is an art. Make me a performance check.
18.
18. It's fantastically well written.
I know.
If you were able to slip it out into the wilds, I'm sure it would gain you even more acclaim than you already have.
I am planning on, probably throwing it out in a bottle off the airship.
That's the most productive method of getting your stories out there.
I
Just
mean, it's
hucking
working.
Hucking them wherever.
It's working.
there's gonna be a farmer who's outstanding in his field, just completely.
You're not the DM. You're not the
It's just
DM.
gonna fall on his head while he's just like
Right.
harvesting his crops. Gonna
Do
shatter.
do I roll for the chuck check?
Littering
You heave
and
Littering and.
littering and. Anyway, how about you, Jarrell? What are you up to?
So as Quinn is contemplating where he wants to drop this bottle and note, he walks up onto the deck, I suppose, and Jarrell's sitting cross-legged again. It's a really clear night out, cold, and he's just utilizing his incense and praying, hoping that even if he can't talk to Valen, that his prayers will somehow still boost her while she's doing whatever the hell she's doing up there.
Oh, since you're on the deck, you do notice Arion Black lounging comfortably in the crow's nest.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
It's appropriate.
Something.
Is
about
he
clothes.
hanging out with Dedu?
If Dedu is up there, then
Oh,
yes, they're both up there.
Dedu is frequently up there.
Hey, why not? Let's zoom in on Dedu real quick.
Oh shit.
Great.
I'm
Dedu,
sure the audience is just hungering for some Dedu.
because the crow's nest is taken, he's kind of perched like down by one of the sails, I suppose, but it's still pretty high up on the top of the ship, and he's not really paying much mind to Arion Black. And once in a while, he'll stick his bird beak into his rum sack and eat those cocktail sausages.
So he's being antisocial and denying Arion Black any chance of socialization.
I mean,
It's
not
okay because
antisocial,
Arion
just a
Black
new-
is just chilling, smoking something up there, and
That's fair.
enjoying himself as best one can upon an airship thousands of feet up in the air.
The only distraction for Arion was once in a while hearing.
I think it's pretty plain
It
at this
could be
point.
worse.
Oh right, because I mean, really, the entire up deck of the ship is just the poop deck.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So we go from that. We've kind of zoomed in on everybody. We've taken a quick look at what they're doing. Everyone's relatively prepared. And just as dawn crests over the next day, the airship, the 11 o'clock shadow, casts its 11 o'clock shadow on the fields leading up to Iiorvicshome. You'll notice a few things right away. There's a lot of smoke coming out of the city in varying places. And we're not talking just your usual chimneys or anything like that. But it appears that a good chunk of the inside city is on fire.
Oh.
And even on the outside, it looks like there are a few rather large bonfires, indicating some possible civil unrest. There's also, on the very outsides of the city, a rather large contingent from several different armies right now, protecting the walls, keeping anyone from getting out. You can notice the banners of the Omega Project, obviously, the Derakeen Protectorate, and even one or two standards of the Crow King himself. Noticeably absent would be the banners of the Sea Lords.
Really? Okay. But those are the people who live in this.
Those would
in
be
this
the
area.
people who live there. Doesn't look like any of them were too keen to keep their countrymen prisoner, but others have stepped in to retain the law and order, as it were.
To get a sense of how massive this outbreak could be, looking at just like how the city is built or whatever, what's the population roughly?
It's not a very big place. It would be no bigger than Erelon, maybe.
And that's still like
Well, what was the original city we started in the Vesh
Erelon.
Kingdom? That was Erelon. Okay, so like a small to mid city, but not like a national capital or anything.
so. There's still like
that.
a few thousand people.
Oh yeah, there's thousands of people here.
Yeah. It's still pretty massive, and
Yeah.
if any of one of those people get out and then they're infected, this could be a catastrophe.
Yeah. So the people who definitely are infected are all walled into the center of the city where the outbreak originated.
Okay.
And then we're going to call that maybe 20 square blocks in the middle of the city. Actually, 10 square blocks, so 10 blocks on each side or something like that. The city hall, in the main town square are included in this, are sort of walled off with barricades.
So not the whole city is walled off.
Well, the entire city is also walled off.
So there's a walled off
Section in
okay.
the city,
Okay.
where the people who are definitely infected are.
Right.
And then the outside of the city is also walled off where the people who might be infected are.
Okay.
So you've got that stage 1 quarantine on the outside and stage 2 quarantine on the inside.
So there's no what's the word I want? Like, there's nothing covering the city,
No.
correct?
It's not like a
So it's
magical
this
dome
is
or
not
anything
an
like that.
airborne situation then.
That we're
we
aware
know
of.
of.
Right.
Yeah.
The assumption then is not that it's not airborne. So I feel like
Yeah.
they would have done
Well,
something
even-
even if there was a thought.
Yeah.
They did completely bubble off that one city. Whether
Yeah.
or not we know
Bana.
about that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
probably do.
Yeah, I'm sure that they would be able to, but right now, at least, that hasn't crossed anyone's mind.
And that was also before Tyrannus disappeared and magic got all fucky. So, you know,
Yeah, that's the other part is it might not even be possible to put that kind of a magical barrier up anymore.
Right.
I want to sidle up to Rix and say, is there a reason for us to announce ourselves, or where do you suspect we should speak with the leading authority on the ground?
Well, as it just so happens, we have a forward operating base inside the Stage 1 quarantine area. If you'll notice, the large Omega Project flags that are inside the city would indicate an approximate area where we could moor the ship.
would you mind if we did maybe just a quick aerial, like, scoping out of the city before mooring? Like, get just a full aerial view of, like, what's going on down there?
Absolutely. Any reconnaissance you need to be would be considered prudent.
Okay. I would like to instruct our helmsman
Yes.
to maybe, you know...
Now, when we say go around, are we trying to do a low pass, or...
Well, I think Quinn has a spyglass or like one of those, you know, like so that he can kind of look out, like get a closer look in. I don't want to get too close that would put our airship at risk or any of us at risk of potential infection if this is something that is mildly airborne. I want to at least like get where we can get a good view by looking down, like, you know.
Okay, so
Through a
are you
spyglass.
talking about like 100-some feet above the buildings or
Probably,
something like that?
probably more like 500 to 600 feet.
500 to 600 feet above ground level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hedrick is going to want to get close enough to pick up a detail because he has an ability of scrying, and he wants to be able to pick up on a creature, figure, person, place, thing that he can keep eyes on what's going in, especially in that quarantine 2.
That's
That's where he wants to focus.
That's a fantastic
his
idea.
Okay.
Observation.
What's the range on that?
Because
You're going to want to convey that to your helmsman.
So this is also could be used like it's I cast it on myself, concentration. It just says a particular creature you choose on the same plane of existence.
Oh, you don't need line of sight or anything like that?
Nope.
Successful save. Then I can't scry on them for 20.
yeah, range is
hours,
self.
but-
You literally just
yeah,
pick
range-
it and it
range is
happens.
self.
Okay.
5th level spell.
I wasn't sure if well, I guess no, not in this case.
Okay.
I was gonna say my amplification probably wouldn't work on duration. I'm just thinking that's for like things I sing.
Well, is your scrying spell a song?
No, that's probably like going into a meditation because I'm looking through whatever the creature is I'm playing, like something with my eyes closed, and then I'm kind of dead to my surroundings. I keep playing though.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you're not asking Zero to try to pilot any closer than 500 or 600 feet then?
Just so long as I get enough of a chance to look at something particular.
If you can at least identify one person to kind of like follow around, I would say focus on a particular area where there is a lot of stuff going on, right? Like a particular person in an area where there happens to be like some hot action, so to speak.
Or the town square. Could you do that?
There is plenty of hot action as there are several buildings on fire just off of the town square.
Okay.
And yeah, people are gathering, shambling about outside. They're not looking great. Now, I just want to get a little more clarity on that scrying. You're only seeing through their eyes. You're not getting any of their other senses or anything?
You can see and hear a particular creature you choose is on the same plane of existence, the target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified how well you know the target. So I don't know them very well. If a target knows you're casting its spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed. On a successful save,
Target's
I
not
can't get
affected.
to it. Failed save creates an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through the sensor as if you were there.
Through the sensor and not through their perception.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Correct.
And then the sensor moves with the target, remaining within 10 feet of it for the duration, which is 10 minutes. Or nope, it's 10. Yep, 10 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. So, random person down there, and you can't really get a good read on them since you can't see, is going to make their save. What kind of save is it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom save at disadvantage because, well, they're bleeding out of just about every orifice. They've lost an arm, and they're in indescribable pain. So I don't imagine they're in any special way to make a good save. So we're going to call that a 4.
I was just noticing again that I have Phil's illustration of Pregnart
That
dancing in
is
the field.
that continues to
makes
be
me so happy.
fucking
Beautiful picture.
Oh, that's see. There's
Holy
shit! All right. There's Pregnart.
that was amazing.
Does Phil get a Pregnart pass?
No.
Damn it.
I never claimed. I never
Have to
claimed
ask.
it.
Have to
Would.
ask.
I never would.
No, you don't do that, but that's amazing.
Hey, I had a chance to make Pregnart's dream come true, and it's nice to know that it's a reoccurring dream.
Yeah,
Makes me so happy.
I had to make sure when I printed that for you that page had that picture.
Yeah.
I
in
mean,
color.
that picture exudes joy the same way an episode of Bob Ross or listening to the Flaming Lips would.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think Wayne Coyne is doing the soundtrack to that or something, because that's just too bizarre for this world and incredibly happy.
Yeah, this is like Pompeii, Gotterdam, like accompanied. Do you know that song? Off
Not
of At War with the Mystics. Is it At
Vaguely. I've
War
only
with, or
listened
just
to it
War
one-
with the
one-
Mystics?
I've only listened to that album once or twice.
It's a great running through a field with an anthropomorphized
Nice.
sausage song.
Anyways, we should cut back into
Okay.
the show.
Right.
now.
Sorry.
So the fact of the matter is, I don't know this person at all. So, I would say
What's your save DC?
18 or no 17. But since I don't know it, like I'm not touching it. I'm literally just looking at it, and I can hear the commotion going down.
It's
there.
like he rolled the 4 because he was rolling at disadvantage. So
Well, I'm saying even the minus 10 with my 17, it was a 7,
yeah,
and you rolled what, a 4?
yeah.
Okay, so even still, like I should be
works.
able to see what's going on
Yeah,
around him.
This person is in no condition to resist you scrying at them.
okay.
And what you see is scenes of absolute hellish carnage. Like, the streets are very nearly running red with blood. There are buildings on fire. Some of these afflicted people are actually trying to run into the fire.
Are they successful?
Well, they're successful at getting into the fire, and they come out,
come
flaming
back out.
and still alive and suffering.
So flames also have no effect apparently on the actually dying part.
Yeah, no, whatever it is, they seem to be unable to die, but are suffering immensely.
Fuck.
I'm gonna pop out of the eyes real quick, still strumming those chords. Oh, guys, it's not looking good down there. It's dog eat dog. People are just trying to kill themselves and burn themselves, and it's just a shit show. I'm thinking this is something that is beyond a physical remedy. This may be a magical remedy.
Does Quinn see anything as he's like kind of using the spyglass looking down?
It's just a normal spyglass.
Yeah, I just wasn't
Yeah,
sure if
it's
there's anything
navigator's
else that
tools,
catches
yeah.
his eye, right? You know, I mean, like I'm just kind of wondering if maybe there's like you can see anything at all that looks like it might be a point of interest. You know what I'm saying?
Do I need to roll for perception or anything?
Yeah, I'd actually like you to roll perception, since I saw what I needed to on my side.
23.
23. So one thing you do actually notice is near the center of the city, the back half of City Hall has collapsed.
Okay.
But instead of just being like fallen down, it looks like it's collapsed into a hole in the ground.
Okay.
Like,
Felix.
I let the rest of them know. Yeah.
After you let Jarrell know, Felix, do your glasses tell you anything?
I
You have
they
your,
probably-
your magic detecting goggles.
Yeah, but even we're too high up for me to tell right now.
How,
I'd
how
have to
high,
be on the ground.
How far do you have to be from it again?
It was
Just
like
to be able to
100
see it?
120 feet.
Okay.
Can we discern the size of this hole? Is this like a natural sinkhole, or is it small around the foundation of the building?
It's tough to tell.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
probably a lot of rubble
Like,
and shit.
you are several hundred feet away.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we want to drop down to 120 feet? Is that too close?
That's too close. But we have a point of interest, and that's kind of what I was looking for. I think we have some good information. I think it's going to be incredibly dangerous. Now, is the helm like at the top or is it inside?
The helm is inside, but has some sophisticated, I guess you'd call scrying screens that can show views just outside the ship.
Fantastic. I'm gonna shot. Can Zero hear me from out on the deck?
Yes. Instead of a magical solution, though, it is literally the series of tubes with cones at the end that
love
you would
it.
use to shout between places.
Yeah.
Like you would see on a kid's playground or on a primitive ship.
Or like
Perfect.
on an internet.
I'm gonna.
Yes.
Sometimes when I gulp down water and I almost choke on it, I'd say it went down the wrong internet.
Is the land? I'm going to ask Zero essentially. Is the land vehicle is this ready by any stretch of the imagination?
By ready, what do you mean?
Able to be dropped down into the city and then retrieved later.
I would say that it's droppable. I'm not entirely certain that I would consider it prudent to drop it somewhere unattended around rioting masses.
You make a compelling argument, Zero. I will take that into consideration as we build the plan. Thank you.
Just try not to smudge the paint too much.
No, I think that maybe we won't use it if that's the case. I really don't want to, cause any more problems here. I just,
A little sidebar. What's the condition of the land cruiser?
The Land Cruiser is ready to go.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
Okay.
It's,
I
it's
just wasn't
more
sure if
that
was all
he would
developed.
caution you against dropping it somewhere and leaving it unattended.
It doesn't have like a lock?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. We're going to eventually need to get into this hole. I just want to get into this hole unimpeded.
I get that.
Surely the world's best captain would be able to hover over the city hall, and we can rappel, a
If
la
the world's
special
best
forces.
captain commands, then the world's best helmsman will get us there.
The helmsman. Well, so what does your mug say now?
Pilot.
It still says world's best airship.
Oh, I'm
pilot.
sorry. Switch that. Reverse.
Thanks, Wonka.
Yeah. So little time, so much to do.
Guys, we can go more at the project, get some more information or anything like that, but I mean, we kind of have maybe a potential idea of a source here, and we want to limit our exposure to whatever the fuck is happening down there. I think, in my opinion, as much as possible. Is there anyone here who disagrees with me?
I'm not as worried as you are, but sure.
Oh, sure, he's got investments. He's Mr. Fancy over there.
Yeah,
He's
investments aren't going to protect you from your limbs falling off, Jarrell.
No, but my God will, thank you.
You can't even talk to her, huh? Hey, why don't you phone her, huh? Why don't you call her up? Why don't you just have your little whispering conversations?
Still feeling pretty immune, little man.
He used to call her on his helm phone.
Yes. Thank you.
Call me.
But yeah, Jarrell would be able to tell whether or not his divine abilities are still functioning, correct?
Yeah. And like Arion Black had said, your gifts have not gone anywhere.
Right.
Your ability to contact your patron is compromised.
Yeah.
But you're still you.
Still immune to disease.
You're immune to all disease.
To disease.
Well, fuck you then.
Plural, diseases.
Yes, that's fantastic. So, knowing what you know so far, do you bet your life that this is actually a disease?
Yeah, Jarrell.
I haven't heard otherwise.
You haven't heard.
Even if it's a magical disease, I
Use your head, man.
feel like it still falls under the category
No,
of
because
disease.
it could be magic. You don't know anything, man.
Are magical diseases not regular diseases in this world?
I don't know. This is something pretty new.
Can Pregnart make a medicine check to see if this sounds like something that he may know of?
Pregnart can make a medicine check. Swing for the fences because the Omega Project's
doesn't know.
entire pathology department hasn't been able to figure
The
it out.
centaur
yet.
for disease control couldn't
Well,
even figure it out.
But
Pregnart
swing for
is
the
Pregnart.
fences. Let's see what happens.
Pregnart has his ways.
Yeah, I'm never going to tell you not to make the roll.
It's 20, modified 20.
A modified 20. I like
he
it.
know?
I like your moxie, but I think this one's a little we're looking at an absolutely insane DC on this one. to
Yeah,
try
this
to
is like
figure
a
out
brand
what
new
scientists
affliction.
figured
Here,
out.
Understood.
Jarrell
I
has
figured
a
I'd give it
pretty
a shot.
easy method of determining whether or not this is a disease.
Okay.
You want to know what that is?
What's that?
Detect disease.
What's the range on detect disease?
30 feet. So all you got to do is land.
Or hover 30 feet above the ground.
Well,
we haven't been wanting
But
to
the
do
airship is 30 feet off
Oh.
the ground, and then you got to think about
Right.
how much higher the actual
Suspend
deck-
Jarrell by a rope under the airship.
I think that is a
A la
terrible
Mission
idea.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Listen, if he's willing to
He
do
swoops down,
that. They're
Ethan Hunt style.
What if
Yeah.
30 feet is the infection
it.
distance?
Dun, 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 dun,
Give
dun.
him like a handkerchief to put over his mouth.
I'm sorry. Was there not a quarantined Omega Project area, or were those all infected too? I
The
remember
Omega
that
Project
part.
quarantine is inside the Stage 1 quarantine, where there are no actively infected people that you know of right now.
Right.
But they're not letting anybody in.
You know what? I think we've already made our decision. We should go more and learn as much as we can, and then find our way into the hole.
Wait, can detect disease work through walls?
What are the rules as written for detect disease?
No presence, location, types of poison creatures within 30 feet. That's what my sheet says. I don't know if there's any more to it than that.
I'm
So
sure
we can
there
go
is.
to we can go up to the edge of the quarantined area. It's like a
That's my plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, it's for the duration, you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You know, also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease in each case.
Now, cure disease hasn't worked.
It is
We know
blocked.
that.
Yeah.
It is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wooden dirt.
Okay, so those walls would more or less stop that then. 'Cause You
Okay.
said 1 inch of stone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely
No,
one.
it was a foot.
a foot of stone.
A foot of
1 inch
stone.
of steel.
Yeah. Still.
Walls, though,
Yeah.
an inch of steel.
I'm going to say between the different things, it's going to be pretty difficult to do that. You
Yeah.
can make the attempt, but I don't know if you're going to get an accurate read.
Is there an overlook on? Is it just a wall? How are they researching this if they can't make any kind of contact with anybody on the other side? All I need is one
Let's more and find
infected
out.
person
Yeah.
near
Yeah.
within 30 feet.
Let's
of me.
more and find out.
Yeah. Right now, when Dr. Kovac left there, they were still setting up the quarantine.
So let's find out. Let's see what they have. Let's see if we have any live patients that we can observe. There were
Yeah.
those 2 scientists that were sending notes back in excruciating pain. I'm not sure if they're any sort of live quarantine situation. But
Correct.
That's
They
possible.
they might have even made progress in the 4 days since she
I
left.
think we should more.
Yeah, I mean, I just said that.
Literally, that was his.
You've
idea.
been, it's been 20 minutes. Let's do it. Like,
We more now.
We just decided.
Okay. So
Glad we're all on the same page. Awesome.
we are more.
Zero takes the ship in towards the mooring, and passing by the local church clock tower, promptly knocks it over, but does so in dramatic fashion as he skids the back end of the ship around like
He's
he's
like-
spinning it into a parking
Fucking
spot.
Tokyo drift in midair.
Tokyo drifts the thing in midair, and with the aft of the ship, blasts over one of the church clock towers.
Wow.
Everybody on the deck of the ship oohs and ahs.
What are we oohing and eyeing?
I'm pretty sure that
The
Zero
people
just
on the ground
Titanicked.
are making sounds similar to ooh and ah, but aren't oohing and ahhing.
Hey, watch it.
such as the effect of the mug of the boss.
Right. This is one
Bruce
of the,
Springsteen.
Not that boss.
not that boss. Different kind
God.
Not the
God.
other kind either.
So before we like 100% more, Jarl's gonna say to Zero, "Do you think it's best if you stay in one spot, or should you circle?"
We're still not moored.
No,
In order to moor, you kind of have to stay in one spot because you gotta drop anchor, so to speak.
But do we want to drop anchor, knowing that the ship could be potentially overrun by rioting people?
We have the world's best airship pilot here. If he sees trouble, I'm sure he'll make the right decision and bail before anything bad happens.
And before we get off the ship, I've got to go to the bathroom and drop anchor myself.
There it is. So, Paradil spends a few minutes in the head.
Dropping anchor.
Launching the Brown October.
Fucking children. Oh, God. Wow.
So fast forward through a vignette of pooping jokes. Yeah, that's about all we can do there. We've taken that as far as it can go.
Yes.
The ship parks, and Dr. Kovac, the rest of the party, and while we're at it, just to be sure, and since this is our first chance to really do it, party select.
Yay!
Our inaugural usage of this brand new, innovative mechanic that we've introduced on this and will unleash on the world, and it'll be a revolution for D&D everywhere. But anyway, so just going around the table from, let's say, my left to Zach, who are you bringing?
Well, Paradil feels that this is kind of out of his element. He's going to stay on the ship and do some further research. You can't really stab a disease. So in that case, he's going to stay on the ship. But Pregnard, on the other hand, he, has background in, curing menial ailments and stuff like that. And
An inspired choice. I like it a lot.
he's going to go. Also, things are on fire and he can control water.
That's fantastic. So, John, are you bringing the paladin or the doctor?
Yeah, as Jarl's getting ready to leave, he'll walk up to Pregnart and say, "Pregnart, have you packed me your lunch?"
Oh, yes, I have made a meatball sub.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. We'll be down there a while. Would you mind coming with us? I love your food.
Yes, I would like to come.
Excellent. Let's off.
Let's off.
All right. So, Lord Jarrell the Light is John's pick. Felix, or I'm sorry, Francesco, are you taking Felix?
Yeah, you
or-
could have kept it at Felix.
Yeah.
While Tabi is great and he's good at a lot of things,
Yeah.
I don't think he has any experience dealing with magical diseases that make your limbs fall off. Whereas
Felix may have caused those.
No, Felix just would probably have a better chance at surviving such a thing and has a mind for such macabre,
I can
And he's
see
like-
that.
ailments.
18 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
He's one of the
We're not
youngest
about.
members.
I'm not personally, as Fran, about to scar this kid for life. So we're gonna go with Felix.
All right. Mike.
I think Quinn would be smarter to stay with the centaur and do more kind of political, try to figure out kind of what's going on with the politics of the town right now and who's in charge, who's in control, and kind of be part of that behind the scenes moment.
Yeah.
Murph is a wizard, so it just makes more sense since he is a little bit more.
Intelligent.
He's a little bit more. Well, there's no, but
Nice jab.
he definitely is more aware of the magical aspects of things.
Still got him.
Less egotistical.
I hate you. So
Kind of works for the party more.
and Murph is definitely going to be, I think, more useful.
And he definitely does literally anything we tell him to do. I mean,
And he's just super excited to be part of the team. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a different role for me to play. And I'm excited about
So,
that.
Works well with other children as opposed to the
Well, he
alternative.
does. His ring may not.
oh God.
Oh.
Yeah. Dr. Kovac will be disembarking the ship to go back to the forward operating base. If Quinn wants to do that, yet stay kind of NPC in this, I think that sounds reasonable and makes sense. So when we get to that table, you'll have access to both of them, but Murph will be our guy in the field. And Phil, you
Only has
have
Hedrick right now. However, that will change at some point in the future, we promise you.
Looking forward to that. For now, Hedrick's looking to earn his spurs, so to speak.
And you have no competition now.
Well,
You know, I never
in the
really,
field.
never really see it as competition.
Right. We're
This
two
guy is so modest.
but we're two different types of bards.
I see it as quite the opportunity. There's potential,
Oh, yeah.
and being attached with so many skilled individuals and unique characters has just piqued Hedrick's interest. He's 100% in.
Yeah. I love it.
So you got 2 suck-ups in the group.
Uh-huh.
Super exciting.
This is great.
It's going to be fantastic.
Felix is going to own this.
Okay. So
It's Felix times to shine.
Or
Although
Jarrell, for
it
that
always
matter,
is.
because now we have the
Oh, that's true, too.
We're the battle of the charismatic people now.
Right.
It's true.
But we get along fairly well. So.
We do until I start suggesting very, well, never mind.
Evil things.
No, it's not evil. I'm not evil.
Okay.
How dare you?
If I was evil, I would have just put that. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
all right, so the active party disembarks the ship. Quinn comes as well. Dr. Kovac also descends into our forward operating base. And after being dragged through a couple of hallways and 1 or 2 ruined buildings in the quarantine enclave, you are brought to an impromptu meeting room that was built out of, it appears to be a general store that was quickly reappropriated and repurposed to be sort of the meeting area central base of the Omega Project's disease response team. So a lot of the products have been shunted, and the shelves have been pushed to the sides of the room in sort of a haphazard fashion. And a hastily erected table is up in the middle of the room. A couple of chalkboards have been mounted to the walls there. Sort of standard disaster room fare, whatever you guys would imagine it to be. It's probably there. Okay, gentlemen, Dr. Kovac addresses the room. Is there any update to the status? And a lot of the scientists look pretty nervous. They're sort of fumbling around with their paperwork, stammering over themselves. You can just sort of tell by the tone in the room that they haven't really made a lot of progress, and things are... the grimness of the situation is definitely starting to impact them quite a bit.
It's a lot of double talk and just meaningless technical speak.
Yeah, just jargon for the
amounts to
sake of
nothing
it.
at all.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of jargoning, trying to mumble their way around the fact that they haven't really solved shit.
Yeah.
We ain't found shit.
Interestingly enough, the guy who
Tuvok.
said that, I only learned that a couple days ago.
Right?
Blew
Tim
my
Ross.
mind.
Amazing. Did not know that either.
But back to the topic at hand, or foot, or whatever limbs have been lost by that particular person.
The appendage at hand.
Great segue.
Well, I mean, it's good for a 2-wheeled vehicle.
Oh my god. This guy's on fire. He's on fire. Listen to him.
Only the ones who ran into the burning buildings to try to put themselves out of their own
Okay,
misery.
you know what? Let's move on now. You're killing me.
No, we're not. And that's the problem. Trying to talk myself around things until I get myself a little more focused into it. But here we are. So the general tone in the room is they haven't found anything. And Dr. Kovac, in very cheerful voice, but very harsh words, berates all of her fellow scientists for not coming up with anything and trying to conceal it in jargon and mumbo-jumbo, which of course she sees right through as she's a lead medical researcher. At which point she turns to the party. Please tell me you have thought of something.
Do we have anyone currently infected that we might be able to have our holy friend over here examine?
Jarl waves.
Yeah.
Researcher Chalky is still near the edge of the wall, and he still seems to have at least most of his facilities and limbs intact. He seems to be taking very good care of himself in there, or at the very least, providing excellent notes. His co-researcher, however, has been nowhere to be found for the last, flips through pages, 2 days apparently. It seems to have taken a toll on his sanity, and we're not entirely sure where he's gone. Fascinating.
Yeah, it's definitely fascinating. It's also I'm really surprised that you're not as worried as like everyone else is.
Are you kidding? I'm in a blind panic.
So how exactly are you in communication with this doctor? Are you talking to him? Like, how is he taking care of himself?
Dr. Williston, would you please brief them on your interactions with researcher Chalky?
Yes. So, about 2 days ago,
We're talking about Chalky Aftertaste?
Yeah, sure. That wasn't really his name, but, why not? Chalky Aftertaste.
Okay.
His name was originally Chucky Aftertaste, and unfortunately, his fellow researchers just gave him the nickname until it stuck, and now he's Chalky.
I like
He really
it.
wishes he was just Chucky Aftertaste.
How is Chalky spelled?
Chalky.
Well, I wasn't sure if you would.
How's Aftertaste spelled?
Aphrtertaist.
Nice.
I like that.
Chalky Aftertaste.
Somewhere Hoblet is crying.
My name is
Or
Chucky
screaming.
Oh no. I'm gonna make Hoblet cry by tacking an extra E on the end of it.
Nice. Tasty.
Taste.
The second E is silent, as well as the first.
It was
Both.
Taist, but now it gets the extra E.
Oh, we're the worst people.
Yes, we
Anyways.
are.
I hate us.
oh, researcher Chalky has been giving us regular notes on the progression of the disease in both himself and in the people around him
How does he provide you with these notes?
by, and please don't laugh, folding it into paper airplanes and throwing it over the wall.
Pregnard is
Modern
Restraining
problems
laughter.
require modern solutions. Don't look at me like that.
Gerard, this might be a weird and a bit of an obtuse suggestion. But if we have one of these note pages, assuming that there would be any contamination in the area that it's coming from, would you be able to detect it on this object instead of us potentially risking exposure to something that will make our fucking limbs fall off?
Is there a piece of paper that Chalky had written on nearby?
also. I think this affects our fucking limbs and our non-fucking limbs.
That's very true. I should have been more broad when I chose my, when I used my word for limbs.
You're speaking truth, brother. I know
One
that's
moment,
sweet.
please.
He goes out of the room and comes back carrying a large wooden chest, which he hauls with great effort, dropping it on the table, unclasping the clasps, opening it up, and pulling out a glass box that's on the inside, about 2 feet across by about 1.5 feet deep, long,
And he can
and
do
about a
this through
foot
glass.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure can.
Yes. So he brings that out and sets it on the table. In the middle of it is a single piece of paper in parchment, unfolded, and placed into this glass box. And you can look or detect through that.
Do it.
Yep. So Jarrell's going to wave his hand in front of it. Yellow light is going to come out, and he's going to detect disease.
And it absolutely shows up as a disease.
All right. Do I know the type?
No. It's unlike anything you've ever seen before.
So I know the presence, location, and just disease. It's not type of disease. I don't think it says type. I can't tell how
I mean,
it's
it
phrased.
does. Like,
it
he
says
would know
type of poison or
Oh,
type.
Of disease. It's all the same.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
at least we know it's officially a disease. Now, do I recognize that I would therefore be immune to it,
As someone who is immune to disease, because
knowing
it's a
my
paladin.
power?
You're pretty sure you are.
Okay.
That's great.
That is a huge
Here's
plus.
the problem. None of the rest of us are.
Right.
I'm going to. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna hold on to this for a second.
Okay, but that's good. This is
It is a disease, yes.
This is rock solid information.
I'm not 100% certain what will work on removing it. However, should we try a few tests?
I mean, I'm sure they've tried a lot. Why don't we just we'll comb through the notes.
Absolutely. We encourage the use of scientific method in here.
Well, I think this doctor hasn't come in physical contact with it.
I'm
Otherwise, he'd be affected, right?
fairly certain we should do another. Is there any food or drink nearby?
There are, it looks like on some of the shelves, some non-perishable food items.
Is any of that, does any of that have disease in it?
Or poison.
Well, yeah. Did anybody try to poison anybody?
The rest,
too?
the rest of the room has been quarantined and is immaculately clear. So,
So
if you're
there's
trying to
no
detect for the rest
disease
of the room,
in here.
the only disease is attached to that paper inside the box.
Okay.
You don't have to burn another one for that. That's all the same use.
Oh, it's
It lasts-
30
it-
feet,
it
10
lasts-
feet?
it lasts
Oh,
for
that was a
days.
ritual anyway.
Yeah.
I can do that as a ritual.
It also yeah, exactly. There you go. So, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you pre-ritualize before that?
No.
No, he went straight into it.
Wow.
In front of everybody.
Went right into it raw.
Just ritualizing all over this room.
Didn't warm it up or anything.
Nope, we didn't have to.
I mean, I told you I was gonna. You all just stood
That's
there
true.
and watched.
There was just we skipped the floor.
Okay.
Whose
so
fault is it now, right?
So is there anything else you're trying to do to this before?
I'm trying to see if I have any current purifier. Most of my stuff's focused on food right now.
That's not a bad thing. We do have to eat that. And other people do too.
Yeah, I guess that becomes a serious thing. Purify food and drink works on food and drink. Does it work on anything edible? Because you could eat paper.
Yeah, I guess you could.
I mean, it wouldn't be an enjoyable experience.
Is
Is this a test we want to conduct?
This is more of this is more of a test of Dave's flexibility here. So yes,
Because I can also do that as a ritual if I need to.
it's a test. Has anyone else in this room tried it? Raise your hand if you tried it.
Who's going to eat it?
Raise your hand if you volunteer to try to taste it.
I mean,
Come on, I'm looking for one.
Do you have to eat it to make it
Oh
qualify
my
as
god, does
food?
Pregnant raise his hand to eat it?
but
After
what
he
I heard,
purifies it?
if you put your mind to it,
You
Pregnant
may
wants
want to
to try it.
rescan it
Pretty
after
much
you
anything.
purify it. Just saying.
I'm
Aside
gonna.
from Pregnart, does anyone else in here want to be our test subject? I'm sure there is a budding scientist in this room looking to make a name for themselves that would like to volunteer for this experiment, right?
Pregnant is hopping from one foot to another
The
and
Omega
raising and
Project
waving his
science.
hands.
settle down. Don't
The
get
Omega
excited.
Project scientists are all looking very shifty left and right at each other. They're all very nervous about this one. Maybe because they've been in town for a few days and have seen what this thing does.
I'm kind of terrified of this.
So the first ritual will take. It's instantaneous for this one.
If you don't do it as a ritual.
But what is it if I do it as a ritual?
10 minutes.
Are all rituals 10 minutes?
Yeah, roughly.
But
Okay.
it doesn't cost a slot.
No.
So it'll be 10 minutes for me to sit there and purify this piece of paper for being eaten by Pregnart.
It's okay, we'll just watch.
And then everybody's just watching me ritualize all over.
For 10 minutes.
Again, yeah, I mean, you didn't leave. I'm still doing it.
He puts on a good show.
And then another 10 minutes
to test.
to test whether or not it's still diseased.
So 20 minutes, 2 rituals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Pregnart takes out his little satchel and takes out his little travel portions of salt and pepper and little
He's getting
cayenne.
ready. He's got a
are
little
you
cayenne
going
pepper.
now You're not at what point would you be taking this out of the box?
Once I've clarified whether or not
It's still diseased.
I have
yeah.
5
Okay.
foot radius of food and drink.
Okay, so it's 10 minutes to do it, and then 10 minutes after that
To
is when you're
check.
testing it.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Just to be sure. So what happens is you purify it, and 10 minutes later, when you run the test, it is still diseased.
Okay.
Oh God, that's bad.
Don't eat that, Pregnant.
Ragnar, get away from that. You're
You
not.
may not want to even open the box, but you know.
Nope. Don't even do
It's
that.
neither
Yes,
here nor
no,
there.
it's still diseased. Didn't work. Sorry. Back to what you were doing, everybody. I'm done pre-ritualizing and ritualizing now.
Puts away his spices, dejected, disappointed.
Oh, we'll get you something good in a little bit. Don't worry, friend.
He smiles.
Is there any other science we want to do now?
I'm all out of rituals.
I want to talk to this guy, but we might have to figure it out.
Dr. Kovac, stumbling around, lost in thought, runs into the wall and bumps her head into the wall, shakes it rapidly. Can you try purifying it again?
Sure. Yeah, 10 more minutes.
10 minutes for that. Is there a faster check on whether or not you can
Yeah, you
actually
have to spend the spell
check it?
slot.
You know what? Fine. Let's do it quick, shall we? And I'll do both back to back.
All right.
She bumps her head in the wall. I'm gonna go over. Are you okay? All right.
Nay.
So yeah, that was a. Oh come on! Amazing.
All right, so instant both are done.
Okay, so the purification happens. How long does it take you to cast the second one after that?
6 seconds.
6 seconds. It is disease-free at 6 seconds.
And then I will conduct my ritual again.
All right. After your ritual, after the 10 minutes, it is diseased again.
So somewhere between 12 seconds and 10 minutes.
Now, is there anyone else in your project who can do what I just did and clock in how long we have?
Ooh! Are you sure you don't have a calling as a scientist?
I am rather intelligent. And he,
Jesus.
juts his chin up to the sky.
So with that new burst of inspiration, the Omega Project seeks to discern the exact nature of this disease and how quickly it repopulates onto an already infected material. The experiment runs, but what's the result? Find out next time on The Hapless Heroes. And that's where we're going to walk this one off.
Nice.
Now, if you like us, we can be found on the internet. We're on such places as Twitter at Hapless Heroes. We're on Reddit /r/Hapless Heroes Podcast. We are on Instagram. Look for Hapless Heroes Podcast. And if you look for Hapless Heroes Podcast on Facebook, you'll find us there as well. Every single one of these sites and presences will take you to the crown jewel of our online presence, our Discord server.
We have prisons?
Online prison.
Online.
It's a prison for our mind.
Our social media prisons.
Deep, man. It's really deep.
Deep, so deep.
After a few hours of DMing, I've lost my ability to word properly. I'm not sure I had it to begin with, but now it's definitely off into the ether
I'm
somewhere.
sure that there are many listeners that we have in our audience that know the feeling.
Oh boy.
Actually, no, that would require us to have many listeners. So, never mind.
I mean,
Self-burn.
we've got more than you'd think. I mean, you know,
Just
it's
being self.
Self-burn.
Feeding.
self-deprecating. Yeah, I get that. I live there. But so all those places will take you to our Discord, which is the crown jewel of our media presence. Like I said, we've got channels for just about every topic you could attach to a D&D podcast, whether it's our current episodes, D&D, the game as a whole, our real lives, DMing, playing memes, other games.
Funny stuff.
Yeah, we've got a community for all of that. We would love to have you in our community.
We've got General Chat and General Cat.
Yes, we do. And I think those are both like the yin and the yang of our server.
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other. You can't have chat without the cat, but you can't have cat without the chat.
You know, I like to think of it as like my daily newspaper, and I just go straight to the comics.
Is this
Every
Hedrick
time.
speaking?
Every
Wait,
time.
daily newspaper or daily
Hedrick,
newspaper?
Hedrick's a big fan of the Discord, y'all.
He's tapped right into it. Somehow.
It's got that connection.
And now, if you've seen all that, you've heard all that we have to offer, you've seen our social media presence, and you like what you see, if you really do like us like that, leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. It obviously doesn't have to be 5 stars. You can leave whatever honest review you feel like. We would prefer it very much if it was 5 stars because, well, we're, selfish like that and we like to see good reviews about us, just like any content creator would be. But if you really, really like us, you can donate to our Patreon, and it has several wonderful reward tiers, whether it be just having access to our patrons channel and getting access to that extra spicy level of Discord chatter, or the outtakes that come with it as part of that. Maybe you want to go a little bit further and have access to Hoblet's Notebook, or contributing a arc or story or a setting idea for our show, which people at, I believe, the $20
Yes.
reward tier can do just
Which
that.
I cannot believe we have people who are even there, and I just
know.
love you so much.
The fact that we are providing that level of entertainment for you really does absolutely blow our minds. I mean, we're sharing the best content we can, but it's absolutely mind-blowing that we mean that much to you, and we absolutely love it. Still barely wrapping my head around that.
Yeah.
And if you like us, right now you like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal, become an OBGYN and deliver babies and have a tenured career and become a valued member of the medical community and your profession. And one day when you're delivering a baby, say, "It's a podcast." And instead of delivering the baby, start playing our podcast through your cell phone.
Nice. That's achievable.
It's simple. It's simple.
It
It'll only take
simple,
like 25,
it's
30
achievable,
years.
It makes the world a better place by delivering babies into it.
And
makes
it's right, and it's only mildly unethical.
Well, the
Yeah.
first thing they're going to hear
don't think it's
are
unethical,
the
it's just
sweet,
annoying.
sweet sounds of our voices.
Yeah.
It's true. All right. So the only thing left for us to do is to outro our cast. We'll start from my left, and now playing Pregnart is Zach.
I want to eat the pepper.
To his left, playing Lord Jarrell the Light, is John.
Until next time.
To his left, playing the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom, is Francesco.
We need more plans.
Bringing to us on the party select, Murph Eastlaw, is Mike.
Oh, I hope I can impress them.
And rounding out our party as Hedrick the Entertainer is Phil.
Man, this is going to be sick.
My name is Dave. I've been your host and Dungeon Master for this evening. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye, bye,
Bye-bye.
bye, 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 bye.